got a hair accessory. Don't you feel it? Look, you're looking good too now.
He didn't get the memo for his strawberry outfit.
So we have buckets over here for you to pick with. Does everybody want their own bucket?
Yeah, we'll probably end up condensing them, but that sounds good.
Yep, that's perfect. And so the biggest rule that we just have to remember is don't step across the rows.
Okay, stay in the rows.
Don't step in the rows, don't step across the rows. Just try not to step on plastic, basically, and you'll be okay. So if you just stay in the walking path,
That works.
and you're more than welcome to pick anywhere you want to pick.
Okay.
Where you see everybody at, this whole top half is called Flavor Fest, and that is the strawberry that won the Sweetest Strawberry
Okay.
contest for the state of West Virginia. So most people love that one. If you want to venture down to the bottom field, there's different varieties down there. You can go down there and taste them, and you can just pick whatever you like.
Okay.
Everybody's assigned to a row so far. So we will put 2 of you in this row, and then the other 2 in this row. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
And then, so the way, have you picked before?
No.
Okay. So the way, and then I need to show you how to pick. If you follow the technique, you will pick perfect berries. And now it took me 3 years to learn this, so you know, I'm the slowest one out here. But what you want to do is just move the plant around and just make sure you find all the red berries, and then just get the berry and make sure it's, come over here so you can see. So we want that berry to be 100% solid red, so just kind of move it around. And once you have decided that it is what you want to pick, you're just going to gently do that and just, you know, flip it up off. And if you'll do that, the cap stays on and the stem comes off, and you'll have a perfect berry. Hello and welcome to Sunset Berry Farm. My name is Farmer Jennifer, and my husband and I own Sunset Berry Farm, and we started this farm in 2010. And Farmer Kent is a 3rd generation strawberry grower with roots in Fayette County, West Virginia. We have 60 acres here in Alderson, West Virginia. We farm about 3 to 4 acres of it are farmed in strawberries. And then we have 3 high tunnels that we grow tomatoes in, and we do a little bit of green beans, a little bit of sweet corn, but mostly strawberries is our specialty, and we're known throughout West Virginia and also really in lots of other states for growing the sweetest strawberry. And so we helped start the Alderson Strawberry Festival in 2016. A couple years ago, we lost our entire crop of strawberries, and so we needed to come up with a way to generate some revenue after that loss. So we decided to grow a field of sunflowers, and that was a huge hit. So we now also specialize in sunflowers. And that's always around Labor Day weekend. We have West Virginia Sunflower Festival here at the farm, and people can come and do photography in the sunflower field. We also have about 100 peach trees, and so we are going to do the Monroe County Peach Festival here at the farm this year for the first time. And that's going to be, I think it's September 7th for that. So I want to share with you all some of our challenges that we have as a strawberry grower in West Virginia. Really, farming is challenging in West Virginia, and really anywhere that you grow, farming is extremely challenging. But here in West Virginia, we have more challenges, I think, than farmers in other parts of the country. First of all, here in West Virginia, we don't have flat land, so we're growing on mountains. So that in and of itself is a challenge for us right from the start. And then in West Virginia, our climate is so unique. So we've got the beautiful 4 seasons here in West Virginia, which I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. So I just love it here because of the 4 seasons. But that also presents a lot of challenges to our farmers in West Virginia. The growing season is extremely short in West Virginia. So you've got one chance to get it right. And so things can happen, and we sometimes we just don't even get it right. A lot of years our farmers will lose their entire crops here in West Virginia, and we just have to wait and start again next year. So strawberry farming in particular is extremely challenging in West Virginia, even more so than other crops. The strawberries are a really delicate crop to grow. So we plant our strawberries in August every year, and we do plant them every year because if we keep them over several years, they get diseases. So everybody knows that strawberries are the dirty dozen. So strawberries are really famous for having diseases. And so if you plant your crop every year, then you can avoid a lot of those diseases. You still have to be careful with them because you can definitely still get diseases, but it cuts them down a lot. So we plant the crop in August. There's a window that you have to get your crop planted in order for you to have a harvest the next season. So it's about mid-August to late August here in our area. So sometimes if we're having severe weather conditions during that time, maybe it rains a lot, then farmer can't get out here and get the ground worked up. And so if the weather conditions are not just right and you miss that window, then you're not going to have strawberries the next season. And then also during the winter, you still can have some problems during the winter. Last winter we lost most of our crop to a severe freeze. The temperatures dropped down below 0. And so last winter we did lose most of our crop. And then also you've got deer pressure, so you've got to keep your plants safe from the deer. Everybody knows about that here in West Virginia. And so deer have caused us thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in crop loss. So we invested in a 8-foot tall fencing around 30 acres of our property, and so deer don't come in anymore. So we've eliminated one problem out of 99. And so then you've got, if you can get them through the winter without the deer eating them, then you come to spring and your plants start blooming in the springtime. And then our wonderful West Virginia weather, it can't decide whether it wants to be spring, and sometimes it'll regress back in the winter time. And so after they start blooming, if you get a frost, it will wipe out your strawberry blooms, and then you won't have a crop. But you can cover them with frost blankets, and that can save most of your crop, and that's what we always do. It's very windy up here on top of Flat Mountain where we live, so keeping the frost blankets on the crop is a challenge also in and of itself. A lot of times the frost blankets will come off, and so we will lose those crops. But then now we're in strawberry season, and we've still got more challenges. So if it rains too much, the strawberries are going to rot and they're going to get diseases. Botrytis is one of the most common ones that we get, and they'll just rot. And so also we have a lot of raccoons and turtles and possums and birds, and so we lose a lot of crop to those as well. So there's a lot of things that can happen if it's too dry and we don't get enough rain. So we've got the opposite problem. You can actually get spider mites in your strawberry crop if it's too dry, and they will wipe you out as well. So I just want people to understand how challenging it is to grow strawberries in West Virginia. And so we only have less than 5 strawberry farmers in the entire state of West Virginia. And our friends over in Clendenin at Country Roads, they lost their entire crop this year. So the last 2 years we lost most of our crop. So it's a very, very challenging crop to grow. But when you do have a wonderful harvest, there's just nothing like it. It's so rewarding, and your field is full of people. The community, they just really enjoy coming out, and it's a really wonderful experience to provide to the community to get in touch with where your food comes from. So it's a special thing if you can get your strawberries to full harvest. It's a really special thing, and it's worth it. But that's also why the price of strawberries is what it is here in our area. Strawberries are a lot more expensive than the ones that are brought in from Florida, California, North Carolina, even Virginia. Our strawberries here in West Virginia are special. So I would really like to help people understand the pricing of local fruits and veggies, and the reason why they are more expensive than what you get in the store. So there's so many challenges to growing food here in West Virginia. So it does cost considerably more to grow food here in West Virginia. And we also are very proud of paying our workers a decent wage as well. So that's going to drive the price up, of course. And so with strawberries being so delicate and strawberry farmers lose their crops, it's not uncommon at all for a strawberry farmer in West Virginia to lose their entire crop. It's very common, in fact. And we grow 3 to 4 acres here at Sunset Berry Farm, and the cost of growing that many strawberries is about $20,000 to $30,000. And so if you lose your crop, the next year, if you're lucky enough to actually have a crop, you're starting out at negative $20,000 to $30,000. So that's a lot to have to make up before you even start making any money. And we've lost our crop 2 years in a row now. So our prices are extremely expensive. However, we do provide very high quality strawberry. Farmer Kent studies varieties, and he chooses varieties that are extremely sweet. And so the varieties that we grow are not the same varieties that you're going to buy in the grocery store. So strawberry farmers in West Virginia grow special varieties, and we focus on taste, whereas the strawberries that you buy in the grocery store are more focused on shelf life. So our strawberries, they have a premium taste to them, and the sweetness of them is just unbelievable. If you have never tried a strawberry grown here in West Virginia before, it's really like a whole different product from what you are used to in the grocery store. They're really not even the same thing. You do call them both strawberries, but it's like the difference between the little Chevette that I drove when I got my license years ago and my nice Yukon that Farmer Kent finally got me, that I've been begging for years. It's used, but I'm thrilled with it. So that's the difference between a locally grown strawberry and the strawberries that are in the grocery store. And so we sell our strawberries pre-picked. In that case, we pay our workers $1 per pound to pick strawberries. Sometimes when we need lots of strawberries picked, we'll even give them double, and we'll give them $2 a pound to pick strawberries. So if you think about how much that is, you can see why our prices are more expensive. And then it costs about $3 a pound to grow strawberries here in West Virginia. So now we're up to $5 a pound, and that's what it costs for the farmer to grow these wonderfully sweet, special strawberries. So our price of pre-picked strawberries is actually $8 a pound. So that gives us $3 a pound that we try to have a profit. But remember, the last 2 years we lost our crop. So you can see how the numbers are really not balancing out in our favor. But also, it's expensive for consumers. Obviously, $8 a pound is expensive for people to afford as well. So it's really hard to find that balance and price your strawberries so that people can afford them, but also so that you can stay in business and you can keep growing strawberries. Farmer Kent has a full-time job. He works at the prison in Alderson, and honestly, his prison paycheck is really, it has to subsidize the strawberry farm. So we depend on his prison paycheck to keep the farm open. But you can come and pick your own strawberries, and the price for that is $5 a pound during the week, because we have more trouble getting rid of strawberries during the week, and then $6 a pound to pick your own on the weekends. And one of the reasons why we have to keep that price up, well, outside of what we've already talked about, is when people come and pick their own strawberries, they just don't understand strawberry patch etiquette. And so you'll see them stepping across the rows and stepping in the strawberries, and so we get a lot of crop damage. But we do want to provide that experience to the community, because that's very important, to allow the community to come out and experience where your food comes from. So it's worth it to have a little bit of crop damage and to give people that experience. So we're okay with that, but just understand the price. Strawberry season here at Sunset Berry Farm normally comes in about May the 15th, and we pick strawberries for about 4 weeks. If it gets too hot, the strawberries will shut down. If it'll stay nice and cool, sometimes they even go beyond that, and we might be able to get 5 to 6 weeks out of them. So we love for people to come out and pick their own strawberries. We're open every Saturday and Sunday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday also 9 a.m. to 6 p.m.